Honey is often called liquid gold because of its incredible medicinal properties and nutrient density. But in the United States, honey is one of the most fake food products on the shelves. A massive investigation into honey laundering revealed that much of what we buy in those cute plastic bears isn't even legally honey. It is ultra-filtered, high-heat processed sugar syrup stripped of all its biological value. Today, we are auditing 11 honey brands, ranking them from the industrial syrups to the true black gold winners. We are starting at the absolute bottom with the brands that are effectively selling you a lab-made substitute disguised as a gift from nature. Brand number 1 is the grocery store icon, Goya, pure honey. Goya is a massive presence in American grocery aisles, but when it comes to honey, they represent the peak of industrial processing. The biggest red flag with Goya is the lack of transparency regarding its origin. When a label simply says product of US and other countries, it often means the honey has been sourced from industrial scale operations where bees are fed sugar water or high fructose corn syrup to increase production. Goya's honey is typically ultra filtered. This is a high pressure process that removes all the pollen. Without pollen, it is impossible to trace the honey's geographic origin, and you lose all the anti-allergenic and nutritional benefits. What you are left with is a dead, shelf-stable liquid that has the glycemic impact of white sugar without any of the medicinal enzymes that make real honey gold. Brand number 2 is SueBee honey. SueBee is the oldest and largest honey cooperative in America, but large scale almost always leads to a drop in quality. SueBee is the quintessential industrial honey. This product is consistently flash heated, pasteurized at high temperatures. While this prevents the honey from crystallizing on the shelf, it also kills the heat-sensitive enzymes like diastase and invertase, the very compounds that help your body digest the honey and provide antimicrobial benefits. SueBee is a highly processed, clear, and uniform liquid designed for mass market appeal. If your honey never crystallizes and stays perfectly clear for years, it's a sign that it has been processed to death. You're paying for the flavor of honey, but you're receiving none of the life-giving properties of the hive. Brand number 3 is great value, Walmart Clover Honey. At Walmart's price point, you are almost guaranteed a product that has been stretched or heavily filtered. Great value honey is often sourced from international honey brokers who prioritize volume over purity. Independent testing on budget brands like this frequently shows that the honey has been ultra filtered to the point where zero pollen remains. Furthermore, many of these budget honeys are harvested wet, meaning the honey is taken from the hive before the bees have had a chance to dehydrate it and seal it with wax. The factory then uses industrial vacuum dryers to remove the moisture. This skips the natural enzymatic process that creates real honey, leaving you with a product that is biologically hollow and chemically closer to a refined sweetener than a superfood. Brand number 4 is Busy Bee honey. Busy Bee is frequently found in discount retailers and is the epitome of generic syrup. This brand often fails the basic purity test. Because it is a mass aggregated product, it is frequently a blend of honeys from multiple countries with varying agricultural standards. There is a high risk of pesticide residue like glyphosate and even antibiotics used in industrial beekeeping. Busy Bee is a high heat, high pressure product that is designed for one thing, the bliss point. It is engineered to be as sweet as possible to satisfy the American palate's addiction to sugar, but it offers zero support for your immune system. If you see this plastic bear in your pantry, realize that you are consuming a dead liquid that has been stripped of the very minerals and enzymes that once made it medicinal. As we move into the middle tier, we leave behind the transparent plastic bears and start seeing words like organic, raw, and non-GMO. This is the tier of the health halo. These brands are much better because they usually avoid ultra-filtration and sourcing from unknown international brokers. However, the term raw is not strictly regulated by the FDA, meaning some of these brands still use enough heat to damage delicate enzymes while legally calling themselves raw. They are safe, but they aren't necessarily healing. Brand number 5 is Nature Nate's 100% pure raw and unfiltered honey. Nature Nate's is the most popular upgrade brand in America. You'll see it in almost every Target and Walmart. They deserve credit for being unfiltered, which means the pollen, the DNA of the honey, is still present. However, Nature Nate's is a massive operation. To bottle honey at this scale, they still use warming processes to keep the honey flowing through the pipes. While they claim to keep temperatures low, it is still a mass-produced blended product. It is a fantastic transition honey for a family moving away from the industrial syrups, but it lacks the single-source complexity and the raw enzymatic power of the top-tier winners. It's a good product, but it's the budget version of health. Brand number 6 is Madaba, organic golden honey. Madaba positions itself as a clean label pioneer. They win points for being USDA organic, which is actually quite difficult for honey because bees can fly miles away to non-organic farms. This means they are sourcing from remote regions, often in Mexico or Brazil, where the environment is cleaner. However, Madaba is often criticized for its flavor consistency. Because it is a massive blend of various organic sources, it loses the unique terroir, the specific floral notes that provide different health benefits. It is a clean, pesticide-free sweetener, but it is still a standardized commodity product. It's better for your gut than great value, but it won't give you the targeted immune support of black gold. Brand number 7 is Kirkland Signature, organic raw honey. The Costco favorite. This is the best value for money honey in America. It is certified organic and raw, and at its price point, it's a miracle of supply chain management. But there's a catch, it is multi-sourced. Most of it comes from Brazil. While it is raw, it is often processed just enough to prevent it from turning into a solid block of sugar crystallization too quickly. For a large family on a budget, this is the number one choice. But for the biohacker or the person using honey as medicine, Kirkland is too generic. It is clean fuel, but it isn't high performance fuel. Brand number 8 is Local Hive Honey. Local Hive does something very clever. They bottle honey from different regions across the US, like Southeast or Northwest. This is a huge step up because local pollen can help with seasonal allergies. However, Local Hive is still a large company that buys from multiple beekeepers and blends them together. You lose the single farm transparency. While it is unfiltered and raw, the heat used in the blending process can still be higher than what a boutique beekeeper would use. It's the best supermarket option for allergy support, but it's still one step away from the peak. We have reached the summit of our investigation, the black gold tier. The brands in this category have abandoned the industrial model of high heat processing. They treat honey not as a commodity sweetener, but as a living enzymatic substance. Here, we aren't just looking for sugar. We are looking for bioactive compounds, rare antioxidants, and immune-boosting proteins. These brands provide the absolute gold standard of transparency, ensuring every jar contains the raw medicinal power that has made honey a legendary healer for thousands of years. Brand number 9 is Wedderspoon, raw Manuka honey. In the landscape of medicinal honey, Manuka is the king, and Wedderspoon is one of the most respected names in the US. Their secret lies in the K-factor 16 rating and a strict commitment to cold extraction. While most industrial honey is heated to high temperatures to flow like water through factory pipes, effectively killing the heat-sensitive enzymes. Wedderspoon guarantees their honey is never subjected to high heat processing. This preservation of living enzymes is what defines true Manuka. K-factor 16 ensures the honey is monofloral, derived exclusively from the nectar of the Manuka flower in New Zealand. This isn't just a honey-flavored liquid, it is a dense, creamy, and opaque functional food. It contains significantly higher levels of phenolic compounds than standard retail honey, linked to digestive support and systemic anti-inflammatory benefits. When you taste Wedderspoon, you are experiencing the biological complexity of the New Zealand wilderness, a pure, traceable superfood that remains active from the hive to your home. Brand number 10 is Beekeeper's Naturals, Superfood Honey. A Beekeeper's Naturals has redefined premium honey by focusing on the total synergy of the hive. Their flagship bee-powered honey is a masterclass in bioactive nutrition. They realize the true healing potential of the bee colony lies in the combination of honey with royal jelly, bee pollen, and propolis. This is the essence of potentiated black gold. Royal jelly is the super fuel of the queen bee, containing 10-HDA, a unique fatty acid that supports brain health. Bee pollen acts as nature's multivitamin, providing B vitamins and amino acids. Propolis is the immune system of the hive, containing over 300 beneficial compounds like flavonoids that combat oxidative stress. By blending these into raw honey, they create a medicinal grade product that targets the human immune system at a cellular level. Every batch is third-party tested to ensure zero pesticide residue, making it one of the cleanest energy sources available in America. Brand number 11, the absolute winner, is Zach and Zoe Sweet Bee Farm. This is the ultimate black gold story. Based in New Jersey, this family-owned apiary began as a search for a natural remedy. When their son Zach suffered from debilitating asthma, his parents discovered immunotherapy through raw honey. They realized grocery store honey was biologically useless because it was ultra-filtered, removing the very pollen needed to help the body build resistance to environmental triggers. Zach and Zoe honey is completely unheated and unfiltered. This is living gold in its purest form. And because it is never subjected to heat, it retains its natural state, resulting in a rich, crystallized texture, a sign of quality industrial brands try to hide. This is a single source powerhouse. It contains raw, local pollen that acts as a natural environmental shield. They nurture their bees without pesticides, maintaining an ecological integrity impossible in the industrial world. This is the #1 brand for the conscious consumer who understands that the closer honey is to the hive, the more power it has to heal. Choose wisely. You have the industrial syrups that are biologically hollow, the marketing traps that offer a diluted experience, and the black gold that respect the ancient bond between humans and bees. If your honey is perfectly clear and never crystallizes, it is likely dead. Look for the thick, the dark, and the unfiltered. Look for the black gold.